everyone, Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters. So here you can see a big pile of mess, and I have just gathered together all my embellishments, all my bits and bobs, well not literally all of them, but a big chunk of them that I am going to use to make some Project Life cards for Katie to use in her December daily album. So I thought I'd start off by using the scrap paper here that I have, because it's almost the exact right size anyway. So I'm just cutting it down to 4x6 size. And I'm trying to use all the ones that have patterns that go vertically, because I know that's mostly the direction she lays her Project Life cards. So I decided, because those strips there are pretty much the perfect size, I'd put everything else away. I don't need to make her 100 Project Life cards. She only needs sort of, 6 to 8 of them or so. So I might as well just put all the rest of the pattern paper away. There's no point in cutting into a whole new sheet just for one Project Life card, and I'll clear my desk a little bit. So then I am back with the 6 colours and 6 Project Life cards that I cut out. I wasn't super thrilled about using that 6th one on the bottom right with sort of the scallop look, because I personally think it should be horizontal, but I know there's no point in embellishing it horizontal. She doesn't use horizontal, she uses vertical. So it's just going to go vertically. So I've pulled out all of the ephemera from various Kaiser Craft collections and Reject Shop collections. I've just shoved them all in together in the one bag, because I've had these ones for years and years and years. And I've decided I want to try and use up some of this stash. So I'm looking through the collections and just placing them onto the Project Life base cards where I think they could go well. They might look well or look good, and with other matching things that I think would go well with them, and just sort of forming an idea of how I want these cards to go. Looking to see things that are too big or the colors might not match. The things that are quite a minty color is really cute, but doesn't necessarily match a lot of the pattern paper I've got out. So just looking through. I know for some of you, watching this process is really interesting because you like seeing the thought process behind what we choose. My thought process is pretty much, does it match the colors of the pattern paper? Does it match the other embellishments I've put on the page with it? Do I like it? It's pretty much how my brain works. Because at this stage, I'm really just narrowing down. I've got so many choices, I can't work with this many choices. So I'm really just narrowing down to try and make it a much easier way or amount to deal with. Because then what I imagine I'm going to do is just pull one card at a time and just work with the embellishments I've put on top of it. Obviously, I can dig back into my stash, or I can steal off another card if I want to, but I've already narrowed that choice down. So I've zoomed right in for you here because I thought it would be better that you get a nice close view of what's actually happening on my Project Life card. And as you can see, I'm going for a bit of a winter hot chocolate and cocoa concept feel. I usually shy away from things like this because in Australia it's summer over Christmas. We don't have cold Christmases. But so many ephemera packs come with winter-based things that you end up with a ton of them left over if you just don't start using them. So I decided I'd just do it. Gingerbread house and a cookie is fine, and a little hot cocoa is fine. That's not necessarily winter. I'm just going to roll with it. So I popped up that coffee mug or cocoa mug because that was cute. I'm having a look at these little stickers, but I know I'm not going to use those gold stickers because the last time I used one, it really didn't peel off very well, and I couldn't be bothered fighting with it, to be honest. So I decided to just put it aside. Now I've got my Tim Holtz, I think it's I can't even remember what it's called exactly, but it's like a celebrations book. So it's not just Christmas. It's got Thanksgiving, it's got Valentine's, it's got birthday, it's got all the things that you celebrate. I just really like the idea of putting a word phrase onto each one of the cards. So I'm probably going to try and do that where I can. So now I'm just pulling out my rhinestones. These rhinestones are actually all joined together by glue, so I'm just spending the time to cut a little separation in them. And that's the first one done. Don't worry, I know you couldn't really see that very well. I would definitely give you a close-up at the end, so either skip to the end if you're only interested in seeing the close-ups, or hopefully you're enjoying watching the process, and then you can keep watching that as well. So I decided Here Comes Santa Claus would have been really cute as, I suppose a title on this little Project Life card, but it was just simply too big. So I decided I'd just go with the word Santa Claus. I started off cutting it out quite broadly, but I didn't like the look of that, so I'm actually going to spend the time fussy cutting it out far more closely together. And so I'm going to stick the Santa Claus itself down straight to the card with double-sided tape, and I'm going to pop up the Santa Claus with foam behind it. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I sound so unsure when I'm talking to you, but I should know. I made these. So yeah, I'm just going to cut the foam into little tiny sections, and I'm going to pop that up behind the Santa Claus. I shouldn't say behind the Santa Claus, I mean below the Santa Claus on his beard. And then just another little word phrase on there, and then a few enamel dots. Now, as you can see, I'm not using every single thing that I put on top of those cards. I'm just using the collections that I put there of ephemera as my base point, my starting point to get going with these Project Life cards, because it certainly makes the building of these Project Life cards so much quicker and easier to already have the ephemera choices made for me. So I just roll with what's on top of there. I don't even spend too much time sort of digging around in my other ephemera and changing my mind, and I've put it there, I like it, just go with it, just roll with it. So as I said, it just makes the putting of these together so much quicker. I barely edited these out. There's only a few little bits and pieces that I edited out, like the fiddly fussy cutting of that Santa Claus and putting on the foam thickers, but most other bits I've just left in, and I've just made this faster. So I think this is about a 20-minute video, so it means the whole process took about 40 minutes to make all these cards, which for me, because I'm quite a slow crafter, is really great. Now, that Merry Christmas was really cute, and I would have loved to use it, but it was too big. And I know that you can have things hang over the side, and it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal in Project Life because the pockets are the size they are. So I can't have it hang over because they wouldn't fit inside the pocket, so it just won't work. I like the idea of, with that Jingle All the Way phrase, to actually use the bells, so that's what I'm going to do. Oh, just then how I'm up and down and up, and I've been up and down and up and down a few times here. I'm actually settling my little son every time I'm getting up and down, and he's just a little bit unsettled. Not too unsettled, just a little bit. That's why I can keep coming back and forth. He just wants to know that I'm still here, basically. And so even that is still in the video, and it's still only taking me 40 minutes to make these, which I think is pretty cool. I think I've finished going in to settle him now, though, I think, because he's right there beside me. If you've watched some of my other videos, you'll know that he's right there with me. It really doesn't take long to just give him a little pat and yeah, I'm still here, and then he falls back to sleep, and he's out for an hour or so, I think he was, in this day, which was awesome. Dear me. Sometimes I think these voiceovers of these advent calendar ones really could just be watching videos, and you could just have, a Christmas song on in the background or something. So I hope I'm not boring you too much with my mundane chatter on about nothing. I find that they're quite self-explanatory if you're watching. If you're like me, though, and you're not 100% watching, which is what I usually do when I watch scrapbook videos while I'm scrapbooking, I'm just really listening to the person talk. I sincerely hope that my chatter isn't too annoying to listen to. Oh dear. So obviously on this one I really liked the idea of having a Christmas tree with presents under it, but it just wasn't working with that big green Christmas tree. And then I really liked the gold Christmas tree, but I didn't want to put the gold Christmas tree on a grey/silver background. So I just swapped it all over to use the red one because I liked the idea of the gold on the red. It just stood out so much more. So I'm going to stick down the two base parcels, which are basically the same looking. They're obviously from the same collection. And I'm going to put the more colourful parcel on the front and pop it up a little bit higher with the foam thickers. So I'm really happy with how these are turning out. I feel like if you have watched all of our Advent calendar series over the last 3 years, you should, I think, see quite a big difference or quite a big progression in how our homemade gifts, or mine especially, homemade gifts have changed over the 3 years. I think my first set of homemade gifts were quite, for want of a better word, amateur. I know I didn't only do paper craft. In my first year, I really struggled to come up with ideas. I really struggled to execute some of the ideas that I had in that first year's video. But I feel like now, 3 years in, I've really made some big improvements in what I'm able to create for Katie. So hopefully she sees those improvements and she finds the things that I'm making for her useful and enjoyable and that she likes them. That would be nice. Fair warning, we don't always do paper craft things in our advent calendars, even still. Sometimes we do. They're still definitely homemade, but sometimes they're slightly different than paper craft things because we can and we enjoy it. We're still making things that we like, which is important because we're gifting to each other, and we're also, this is still our hobby and our downtime. So on this card, I am going to do the little hanging baubles. So again, same concept as on the Christmas presents. I've got the two baubles that sort of match each other and are a little bit plain underneath, and then I've got the more brightly coloured bauble on top, and I'm popping it up with foam. I'm sorry if you want to know the Kaiser Craft collections. I really don't know what these Kaiser Craft collections are called. They're very old. I highly doubt you can even get these anymore because when I bought them, they were already old and they were already the ones that were like on sale for $3 or something. So apologies if you really wanted to know what they were. I wish I could tell you, but I can't. I could go and dig around in my rubbish bin, but I don't want to. So I'm almost finished with this one. How many have I done now? Is this number 5? I think, or is this number 6? Gosh. So I think that was number 6. And I think now I remembered that I didn't put any rhinestones or anything on that one, so I thought I'd better bring him back. I think if I remember correctly at this stage, my little man really wakes up. And so I'm almost finished. If not, I think I'm almost finished. So I end up doing the last little bit one-handed because he's not unhappy. He's not crying now I've got him. But he wanted to be held, I think. I didn't even need to tell you that though because I don't think you can see him. I just think that's what happens. So just putting on the word phrase because I really like that idea of all of those having that. And yes, I finished all 6 of them, but I've still got a whole bunch of ephemera left. So I end up cutting 2 more Project Life cards and end up making 8. And I do use ones that that one really should be the other way, but I just roll with it. I'm just going to do it. It still works. It just looks like the lights are dangling down from the ceiling or something as opposed to being strung along it. No big deal. And no, see, I've still got 2 hands, so little man's not awake yet. So funny. So yes, just sticking all these ones on. I do stop after these 2 though. She only gets 8. You could keep going to the end of the earth, couldn't you? But I stop at 8. I figure 8 is enough. So just sticking down that snow globe. That snow globe is a Reject Shop collection, and it's actually still out this year, that Reject Shop collection. I'm sure it is. Or no, maybe it's not. I shouldn't say that. Gosh, now I don't remember. I know that there are 2 Reject Shop collections out this year that are the same ones from last year. But I can't remember if that snow globe was one of them that was in the last year's one or the year before. Oh dear. So now I've pretty much run out of Christmas sayings that actually match. So I am looking through the other sayings, like the Thanksgiving ones and the celebration ones and all of that, to find ones that still would suit for Christmas, because you totally can. But I'm also conscious of putting all the good phrases on Katie's Project Live cards, because I still need to use them for my own actual scrapbooking. Isn't that nice of me? So this is the last one I do, and I actually did cut this one especially out of pattern paper just to make sure I have it facing in the right direction. And I really just got this one because I desperately wanted to use those gingerbread men. I thought they were really cute and you couldn't miss out on using them. So I thought I had Little Man in my arms by this stage because I am so close to being finished, but I seem to have 2 hands, so perhaps I still don't. Oh, no, I think I do. So I think I went and got him right after I stuck down the big gingerbread man. So I was so close to being done. I knew I only had to stick on the little gingerbread man, a word phrase, and some rhinestones. So he just gets to hang out with me on my lap for this last little bit, and he's happy as Larry. He just wanted me to hold him. Me, on the other hand, would have liked to have both my hands usable. I'm surprised you can't see the top of his head though, because I am using my left hand and I know he's in those arms, but we will see. So now I am done. So I bring them up nice and close for you to see them. Hopefully you like them. Hopefully they inspire you to do some Project Life card making. They're super quick and easy, and it certainly helps with December Daily to have them already ready to go, because there's one whole pocket already filled, which is awesome. One less thing to do. Now I left the corners square because I'm not 100% sure if Katie's going to be squaring or rounding her corners, and obviously if they're already rounded you can't take it back, but if they're still square she can round them herself if she would like to. But I'm pretty sure she leaves them square. So I really like how they turned out. I think they're super, super cute. I hope you like them too. She did end up with 8, the lucky duck. I feel like hopefully she's giving me some. Otherwise, I feel like I need to make some myself. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying to the end, and I'll see you next time. Bye.